Hi, welcome back to Personal Selling Weekly. Today we will dive into one of my favorite topics, which is really about how to create positive activists. Customers that are so happy working with you that they come back and bring their friends. Because again, a lot of salespeople are too focused on just making that one sale. But in business to business, that doesn't lead to sustainable business outcomes. You want to be able to create customers that get so much value from working with you that they want to come back again and again and again. Because it's much cheaper to keep a customer than trying to keep getting new customers in. It's simply too expensive. So again here, the more in a way you are able to do something when you work with your customers that want them to actually come back for more, I think the better deal you will end up making. And today, we will talk about how you can do that. So if you want to in a way, create these ultra satisfied customers, there's one thing you need to understand, and that's it's not enough to deliver what they need. You want to do more than that. You have to deliver more than they expect you to deliver. Because if you deliver what they need, what they expect, yeah, they will be okay, but they will not be thrilled. And to really deliver more than they expect, more than they need, you need to be able to uncover not what they think they need to solve an issue or problem. You need to understand to uncover what we define as their desired state, what they truly want to be true for their business. And to do that, you need to start in a very different place in most traditional sales approaches teach you. You shouldn't start with, what's the issue? What is the problem? Or what is the challenge? How can we help you? Because if you start there, you create a frame which will only lead to a discussion on how to remove a problem. And that's not the best way if you want ultra-satisfied customers. You need to start somewhere else. You need to start out understanding what's already working. What is it that they're happy about in what they're doing today? Because when you do that, in a way, you reconfigure the brain of the customer to really be able to access their dreams. Because from there, they can see what they truly want, not just what they need. And that's the information you need to be able to access. Because if you don't know the dreams of the customers, you don't have a chance unless you're a clairvoyant person. And I haven't met that many salespeople that's truly clairvoyant. I have met a lot who believe they are, who assume that they know what the customer really want. But I have this rule: if the customer haven't told you, you don't know. And I want you to know. So I think this is really the first step you need to master to really build these positive activists. You need to be able to understand how to understand what the customer truly want so that you can build a conversation, a solution around that. How do I actually know what the customer truly want? And again, here, this is not easy because, again, you cannot only rely on what the customer is saying. You also need to pick up what we have discussed in one of the previous episodes, the whole nonverbal cues. Because what will allow you to know whether you actually are talking with the customer about their dreams, their desired states, is not just what they're saying, it's how they actually sound. It's the pitch of their voice, it's the smile in their eyes, it's maybe even the pause they're having before they speak to you again. So some of these small subtle signals is really which allow you to know, wow, this is actually the dream. And again, this is what you need to really practice and master, because that's the building block for building these positive activists. Because this is what you need to know so that you can design a solution or bring in a product that would actually bring them there. And when you do that, there's a big chance that you will end up with a positive activist instead of just a happy customer. Because now you have not just fixed a problem or a challenge, you have brought them beyond, you have transformed them into what they truly wanted and maybe have always wanted, but never really have been able to get to before they met you and your services and your skill set. And that's what you want to bring into the equation. So knowing their dream, how do you use that when you're actually designing the solution? I think, again, some people talk about this whole idea, begin with the end in mind, or some people use a more fancy word, teleology, which is really about designing a solution with an outcome in mind. And I think a lot of people are doing that. Architects do this when they design a house. They start out by actually envisioning the house and then they draw it so that people can build it. It's the same thing you can do with any solution or any product in B2B. If you cannot see the house the customer would like to live in, how can you draw it? How can you build it? So that's why you need to get that picture out of the mind of the customer so that you can start to work with it. That's basically how you do it. Your dream is not the customer's dream. Please remember that. Again, a valid question to ask here is actually, but how do I actually access the dream of the customer? And because this is not always easy. I think a lot of people are not used to actually sharing their dreams. They don't have time for it. They're busy, stressing around and fixing things that need to be fixed. So in a way, you need for yourself to show up being ultimate present with the customer, because the state you're in have a big impact on the state of the customer. And if you show up being really relaxed, present, still active, the customer will calm down and start to relax. And basically their neurological state will transform from being in a survival mode into a more open and receptive mode. And this is where the customer needs to be able to access their dream, but also access a dream which they can actually connect to. And I think that this is the crucial point of really being successful in understanding the customer's dream so that you can build a solution that actually will bring them to that dream. So it's a complex skill set. I think, and again, the easiest way to get there is to show up and be really curious. Because if you show up and you're really curious about what the customers truly want to achieve after the transformation, then there's a bigger chance that they will be capable and willing to share that information with you. So how do you actually know what is the true dream of the customer? And I think it sounds like a very simple question, but actually it's quite deep, because a lot of people have spent many, many years in their life not really focusing on their dream, what they truly want. They are much more focused on other people's dreams and how they can be in the world so that the people around them can get their dreams. So understanding this will, I think, again, help you when you go in and work with customers about what they truly want. Because again, for a lot of people, this is not easy. But if you are the salesperson who can help your customer get access to their dream, then you have already delivered value long before you have delivered any product or services. And if you can do that, then there's a bigger chance that the customer will invite you back in for the next meeting and the next meeting, simply because they get something from you they don't get from anybody else. And I think this is what can really differentiate you, your brand, and your organization going forward. So I hope this week have given you some inspiration that can help you move your business to the next level. And I will promise you, the more positive activist you build for your business, the easier life you will get. So, because again, now suddenly you don't have to sell anything anymore. You have your positive activist which can help you get the next lead and the next lead and the next lead. And it's like building a movement where it starts to actually work for you. And it doesn't come overnight. So, in 1 month, nothing happens. In 3 months, almost nothing. In 1 or 2 years, you can transform your life if you really tap into this. So I hope you have enjoyed this week's episode and look forward to seeing you back here next week. So go out, play with this, have fun, help your customers so that they will end up helping you. Have a great week.